just heard you got some Superman Legacy leaks on you.
Yes, I do.
Where did you get those leaks from?
Don't you worry about that. Don't you ever worry about that.
How y'all feel out there?
What up, YouTube? It's your boy, Peter J. Back like I left something, and I'm glad you're here. Yes, I'm glad you're here. And today, we're going to be speaking on Superman Legacy leaks that drop. Now, you might be asking yourself, Fatal J, is no way they drop because James Gunn have said nothing. Trust me, this come from my boys from the DCEU Leaks on Reddit. And trust me, they've been bringing the pain and been showing actual factuals. Shout out to Prime. When it comes to these leaks, James Gunn eventually say these leaks. So they must got somebody out there in the realm of a Warner Brothers spy. You know what I mean? But we're going to delve into that and even on some more DCU stuff. But before we get into that, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to hit that notification bell. Because every time you hit that notification bell, it makes Fatal J smell. No, I'm just kidding. It makes me feel oh so good and oh so swell. Yeah. So, of course, these leaks, they just dropped on the DCEU Leaks Reddit, and we about to get into it. But before we get into the Superman Legacy leaks, we have some DCU leaks and some old DCEU news that we need to talk about real quick, real fast. So let's check it out right here. This is right here from the SAITMQ, Strange Adventures. We know it's been a while, but welcome back to a new edition of Strange Adventures in the Mode Q. In this edition of SAITMQ, we have news for all corners of DC media like the DCU, the Reeseverse, and the Sandman series. Yeah, you heard it first, the Reeseverse, which doesn't have nothing to do with James Gunn DCU. And I actually like that. I think that's pretty dope. So let's check out this first news right here. This is verified for Sandman that's going to drop on Netflix. It says Esme Creed Miles is in talks to play Delirium. We have Alexander England is in talks to play Destruction. We have Thor, Loki, Odin, Hades, Poseidon, Orpheus, and Eurydice will all appear in season 2. Now you might be saying those are MCU names. No, these are going to be the God characters that show up in Sandman. If you're not familiar with the Sandman comic book, the Sandman comic book is about Sandman, you know, the god of sleep and dreams and all that type of stuff. He's going around, going inside people's minds, you know. Somebody stole his dream lamp from him and he trying to get that joint back. On his encounter to getting it back, he's meeting up with all these different gods and gods of death and all this type of stuff. And even the evil wretched swine of a Lucifer himself, you know. It was a dope show on Netflix. I enjoyed myself watching it, so I can't wait to see what happens on season 2. Let's get into some more news. The Penguin, DeAndre Cornell is playing Frances Cobblepot, Oz's mother. Sharon Oscolo is playing the wife of Sal Marino, and Carmen Eljego is playing a sex worker. An SEX worker, because I know how you is. YouTube, you will block me and you will demonetize me if I say certain words. So YouTube, please forgive me for the things that I've done and said. But you heard it first right there. I didn't know those names I was just pronouncing, but I thought you would want to hear that news and see who they're talking about exactly. Now, we're going to get to the juicy part of the video right here, what you came to see, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the Superman Legacy leaks that we have so far out there on the DCEU Leaks. So let's get into it right here, right now. So it says right here for the Strange Adventures. A project adopting Tom King's Strange Adventures run is in early development for the DCU. Note this information predates the WGA strike. Eli Gethier is signed on to reprise his role as Mr. Terrific. Note this information predates the SAG-AFTRA strike. They said that Mr. Terrific was going to show up in Superman Legacies, and we definitely got our casting of Superman Legacy who's going to be in that joint so far. So I'm saying the cast looks solid, and we're going to get people like Green Lantern that's in this joint too, which Green Lantern is going to show up. Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, he's going to show up in the Green Lantern show, of course, too. So this is just going to be some all type of fun. Also, what people wanted, everything is going to be connected together in this DCU. Also, let's check it out right here. This is partially verified, so don't take this seriously, but take it seriously. This leak comes from Who Likes Animations for Superman Legacy. I've seen and personally worked on some concept art since we last spoke, of which I've seen include the following. Now, we're speaking on Jor-El. He's drawn as being tall, and I mean really tall, like above 7 feet at least. His costume is sort of a mix between armor and fabric, with the armor bits being like a baby blue and a fabric being a crystal white. He has a blue House of L crest on his chest, which glows, kind of like a LED. And here's the fun part. Take this with a grain of salt, as a ton of concept art uses random actor spaces on characters. But the specific art I've seen features Kurt Russell's face on Jor-El, which would have been great casting IMHO. Look here. The suit sounds fire. Making the House of L crest glow is fire. We need that. And Kurt Russell as Jor-El? I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but Kurt Russell been that dude. I don't understand why people always say Arnold Schwarzenegger and they say Sylvester Stallone, but they never mention Kurt Russell, because Kurt Russell has franchises like those guys, and he was an action star like those guys. I think the only thing missing was he had the steroid muscles. Excuse me, did I say steroids? I mean, those guys are really working out. Excuse me, I didn't mean to say that. Let's continue. It said here is a fun one. I've seen concept art for what appears to be Brainiac drone. Now, this doesn't outright confirm that Brainiac is in the movie, but he at least has some sort of presence. The drone appearance is nothing of note, just a generic gray robot with green highlights. The reason I'm led to believe it's a Brainiac drone is because it features Brainiac's signature headpiece thing on its forehead. So yeah, interesting stuff. Look, we got to get Brainiac in that joint. We don't have Zod. We don't done that. You know what I mean? We don't already had Doomsday. Sad to say, Doomsday should have been his own movie. Zack Snyder, you know I love you, but Doomsday should have been his own movie. Period, point blank. We need Brainiac. Brainiac is that top tier villain, like that Superman villain. Because you had your Zards, you had your Lex Luthors, and you had your Brainiacs. We got to get Brainiac in that joint. There's so many dope things you can do with Brainiac. You can do some Doom type stuff, you know, drone robots, getting into your cell phones, technology, hacking your computers, alien ships, spaceship, technology you never seen before. We need that joint in this joint in Superman Legacy. It will be oh so fly and oh so wonderful. You know what I mean? Let's finish up right here. It also says Jimmy O's, basically the same as I said before. But now, interestingly, with Skylar, Geisendorf's face added into the art. Like I said, we use actors' likenesses for a ton of concept work, but I am inclined to believe that Skylar is actually Jimmy here due to everyone we heard. After independently corroborating details with this user, the Mo team feels more confidence in its source quality. However, due to the limited scope of their claims so far, none have been actually confirmed yet. So like I said, don't take this as a scoop. Don't take this with a grain of salt. But I'm going to tell you guys, these guys hit hard on the Reddit. You guys make sure to check them out. Like they stuff, DCEU Leaks, they bring the pain. Now, let me add my little synopsis into this joint. I just got to say, what I'm seeing so far for this movie is going to be 100% pure fire. I like what I see. Everything looks flawless. My boy, David Corenswet, let me tell you something. Perfect pick. Yes, he look like Henry Cavill, but Henry Cavill looks like Superman. Henry Cavill look like Christopher Reeves, whatever you want to call it. He has that Superman look. If we get Kurt Russell, because it's very important to get a big name to play Jor-El. If we get Kurt Russell to play Jor-El, the game is over. DC will be taking back their legacy and taking back their flag and planting it on the MCU mountain. You know what I mean? So everything looks so good so far. Everything looks flawless. Let's keep the suits up. Make the suits dope so I can buy the merch. You know? Make Superman suit fire. And James Gunn, I hope that you reveal to us soon what the suits and the concept art and all that stuff look like. I can't wait to see. You guys let me know what you think about this. Do you think this movie is going to be absolute trash and James Gunn is going to run DCU into the dirt? Or do you think this movie right here is going to bring the pain and bring DCU back, the DC back to where it's supposed to be? Because let's just be completely honest. DC have the dopest characters. They just do. They have the dopest stories. They just do. But Marvel has the better movies. Let's just keep it all the way plain and simple. But I think the time of hot doo-doo, hot trash films from DC is going to be over soon. You guys let me know what you think. Also like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Because when you hit that bell, it makes your boy Fader J feel oh so good and oh so swell. And I'm out of here. Ninja. Vanish.